So now we know how to get a slope from a line. What if they don't give us the line? What if they only give us the points that are on the line, or 2 points that are on the line? Can we find the slope from those? And the answer is yes, we totally can. To help us do this, there's actually a formula specifically for it. And the kind of like official mathy math way to say it is y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. But I often will just call it y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And if you think back, right, to what we just talked about in the last section, we talked about how it was rise over run, right? How many up, you know, how many, I can't remember what I said, up and down, right? That's the rise, how many up and down. And the run is how many over we go. So if you think about our X and Y axis, they coordinate, right? Y is going in the up or down direction. X means that we're going in the over direction. So hopefully it kind of makes sense. This is where that fraction from rise over run comes from. And you'll often see that M equals this whole formula. And that's because M, the lowercase letter M means slope. So if we are gonna, we'll be kind of dealing with more equations in the future. And if you see an M, especially in this unit, it means slope. Okay, so let's practice this and just sort of see if we can do it, okay? Because I know that we can. Here they've given me 2 points, right? Oops. 7, 2 and 11, 4. And remember my formula, M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to assign which point is going to be number 1, point 1, and which is going to be point 2, because that's what these little guys indicate. These are the x and the y, because remember this is x comma y, from 1 point, and then these guys are x and y from the 2nd point. And here's the secret. It's going to come out to the same answer whether you have them like this or whether you have them like this. It shouldn't matter which you make number 1 and which you make number 2. You're still going to get the same answer because the slope is the same between these 2 points. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to assign number 1 to this one. Oh, come on. I'm going to say that's number 1. And then this one over here, I'm going to say that this one is number 2. And I'm going to color code them just so that you can kind of see. The important thing is to get the X's in the same spot, right, on the bottom, the Y's in the same spot on the top, and that you have the corresponding points above each other. So this is my second one. Oh, I keep turning off the pen. This is my second one, right here. Oh my gosh. This is my second one right there. Okay, so I am going to plug that into my formula. Y in this one is the 4. The X in this one is 11. So there we go. Now, the minus signs stay. Minus signs stay. So you see how I have those like right over the top of each other? That's how I know that I've got them in the right place. Now let's do the pink one. Again, I have X and Y. So Y is 2 and X is 7. And I want to make sure, again, these are from the same point, and I have them over each other in my formula. And then I'm just going to do the math. 4 minus 2 is 2. 11 minus 7 is 4. And so I end up with a positive slope of 2/4. My fraction brain goes, wait a second, I can reduce that though. So what I'm really going to do is reduce it to 1/2. So, and what this means is if I have a line, my points are going to be up 1 over 2 from each other every time. Up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. And I should be able to graph these 2 points, draw a line between them, and still see that 1/2 is my slope. Let's do another one just to make sure that this is okay. This one I'm going to need more room on, so I'm going to try to write smaller. I'm going to rewrite my formula. I always rewrite my formula because then I can see it and I know that I'm not going to make a mistake. If I try to remember the formula just from my head, oh, I'm going to mess it up. I'm going to mess it up. And so I just try to not do that. I write it down so that if I make a mistake, it's somewhere in the math and it's not a mistake from the beginning. Oh, that's so frustrating. I can assign 1 and 2 to my points. It doesn't matter which one is which. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to make that negative 17 and 4 the second one. So I know that that's what's going to end up kind of under here. So I have 4 is my Y, and I have negative 17 underneath. Remember, those negative signs come along for the ride. Those are from the formula, so they just carry down. The reason that's important is because in this guy, this X and Y, I've got some negative numbers. So I want to be sure to use my parentheses as I plug my numbers in. So Y in this coordinate is negative 5. X in this coordinate is negative 2. And then I'm subtracting some negatives. And so again, if you're subtracting a negative, it really turns into a positive. So I'm just going to rewrite my problem here with my positives in there. This looks silly. I don't know what happened on that. So what I really end up with is 4 plus 5 over negative 17 plus 2. And if I combine those, 4 plus 5 is 9. Negative 17 plus 2 is negative 15. So there's my slope, 9 over negative 15. Except my fraction brain says I can reduce that too. Those can both be reduced by 3. If I divide 9 by 3, I get 3. If I divide 15 by 3, I get 5. And then just remember that the negative stays with it. So this means that my slope for these 2 points, the line that's created between these 2 points, is negative 3 over 5. A hint about entering them into WAMAP. I think that WAMAP likes it better if you type it in as the negative first and then 3/5. Technically, we ended up with our negative number on the bottom, but sometimes if you type in 9 over negative 15, it says you're wrong. So always put that negative in front. Because even though it looks like it's only on the bottom number, it's really for that whole slope. We know that it's really a downhill slope. That's what it's indicating, and it's for that whole fraction amount. Okay, do the 2 problems that WAMAP gives you. Let me know if you have questions.